Jason. And we're
Trail of Dead.
We're Trail of Dead, man.
Hi guys.
We've been using the same producer for all these records, and then this record we had 2 new producers and 2 new engineers.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's a lot of trust involved because you're having to perform, especially, you know, when you're like trying to sing and do things that are kind of intimate. You know, there's a lot of trust relationship that you have to establish.
Yeah, like Chris's studio, DNA, is next door to this producer, John Hill, who did Santa Gold's record and wrote and played on it. So he was like next door, and he'll be like hitting on some drums, and you'd be like, hey man, can you help me, like, you know?
He bought a new drum set and he wanted us to like break it in.
Like a very surreal situation. But it was cool because we were like kind of like sharing ideas, or just like at least,
even though the music that we're creating is totally different, you know, and that's really, I think, one of the great things about New York is you've got all these bands that are working on projects that are nothing like what you're doing, and yet the commonality is there, and it kind of reminds you of the universality of music. There's an element of spontaneity that we want to keep in the show, you know. I just watched that movie Man on the Moon about Andy Kaufman, and I really related to his philosophy about the live performance, that it's supposed to be shocking, it's supposed to be challenging, it's supposed to breach the wall between the audience and the performer, and it's supposed to be almost embarrassingly unprofessional in a way that makes people re-evaluate, you know, a live set. So I think that in that spirit, we'll always kind of continue to, I don't know, try to feel that what we're doing on stage is of the moment. You know, we never like over practice. We sometimes use the show as a practice.
The name question will never be answered.
I just wanted to know.
There was a manga film.
Yeah. What was that called? It was Legend of the Overfiend.
It wasn't Legend of the Overfiend. It was a different manga film. But in it there was this big army, and it would just tear through the landscape, destroying everything.
What was that called?
I can't remember. And it left this trail of destruction. It just looked, you could see the path of like burnt villages and corpses that this army had left through the town. And so that's what I was thinking of. And so in this, you know, we're coming up with names, and I think one of the names was the Crosstops, because we didn't even know what kind of band we were going to be. So when we came up with the Crosstops, we thought we'd be like a, you know, like this kind of ska band, you know. And then when
like the Clash or something, you know.
And I was like, you will know us by the Trail of Dead, you know, as a joke, and we laughed and laughed, and we couldn't stop laughing, and so we decided that would be a funny name because it made us laugh so much.
Yeah, it did.
But you know, if we had called ourselves a Crosstops, it would have been a ska band.
Shitty band. That would have been a shitty band title.
To the sky, I'll bring the angels from hell and place them.